All right, so picture this. You're chilling on a tropical island in Indonesia, living your best life, thinking you've escaped the rat race. You're basically the main character in your own Eat, Pray, Love sequel. And then, boom, a 3-meter-long prehistoric nightmare waddles out of the bushes like it owns the place. Because guess what? It does. Welcome to Alpha Animals, where we talk about creatures that are so ridiculously overpowered, they make Marvel superheroes look like they're working with a limited budget. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the absolute mad lad of the reptile world, the Komodo dragon. And no, before you ask, they don't breathe fire. But honestly, after what I'm about to tell you, you'll wish that was their only party trick. So let's address the elephant, or, well, the giant lizard in the room. When most people hear Komodo dragon, they think, oh, cute, a big lizard, like a bearded dragon, but, more. Wrong. So wrong. That's like saying a great white shark is just a goldfish with ambition. The Komodo dragon is the largest living lizard on Earth. We're talking up to 150 kilograms of pure I woke up and chose violence. They can sprint at 20 kilometers per hour, which, okay, doesn't sound that impressive until you remember you're the one being chased, you just ate 3 slices of pizza, and your cardio consists of walking to the fridge. But here's where it gets spicy. For decades, like we're talking your parents' entire childhood, scientists believed Komodo dragons killed their prey with toxic bacteria in their mouths. The story went, they bite you, then just wait, stalk you for days while you slowly die from infection. Very Edgar Allan Poe, very dramatic. Plot twist, that was completely wrong. In 2009, researchers discovered that Komodos actually have venom glands. Yeah, they're venomous. They've been venomous this whole time, and we just didn't notice? It's like finding out your neighbor is a retired spy. Suddenly, everything makes sense, but also nothing makes sense. The venom causes rapid blood pressure drops, prevents clotting, and induces shock. It's basically nature's version of a debuff spell from a video game, except you can't just chug a health potion and walk it off. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so they're big and venomous, but how bad can they really be? Oh, sweet summer child, let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're a water buffalo. You're just out here, eating grass, contemplating buffalo things. Maybe thinking about that one time you almost stepped in a hole. Real thrilling stuff. Then, out of nowhere, a Komodo dragon appears and takes a chunk out of your leg. Do you die immediately? No, that would be too merciful. The Komodo dragon just leaves, doesn't chase you, doesn't finish the fight, it just watches you stumble away, bleeding, confused, probably questioning every life choice that led you to this moment. And then it follows you for days, using its forked tongue, which, by the way, can detect carrion from 10 kilometers away. It tracks you like a GPS that runs on spite. You're getting weaker, the venom's doing its thing, you're losing blood, and this absolute menace is just walking behind you, casually, like it's on a Sunday stroll. It's the apex predator equivalent of someone reading your messages and not responding for 3 days. Psychological warfare at its finest. When you finally collapse, that's when dinner is served. And here's the really fun part. Komodo dragons can eat up to 80% of their body weight in one sitting. That's like a 70-kilogram person eating a whole 56-kilogram feast in one go. Thanksgiving dinner could never. Okay, time out. Let's speed run through some Komodo dragon myths because the internet has lied to you. Myth number 1. They're slow and clumsy. Wrong. They can run 20 kilometers per hour, climb trees when they're young, and swim between islands. They're literally speed running the skill tree. Myth number 2. They only eat dead things. Also wrong. They'll hunt live prey, deer, pigs, smaller Komodos. Yes, they're cannibals, we'll get to that, and occasionally humans. More on that later because, oh boy, do I have stories. Myth number 3, they're basically just monitor lizards. I mean, technically true, but it's like calling a tank basically just a car. Sure, both have wheels, but one is significantly more likely to ruin your day. Now let's talk about Komodo dragon relationships, which are exactly as chaotic as you'd expect. Males fight each other for mating rights, and when I say fight, I don't mean a polite disagreement. I mean full-on WWE wrestling matches, where they rear up on their hind legs and try to throw each other to the ground. The loser has to walk away in shame, probably posting vague, sad tweets like, "Some people really show their true colors." But here's the really wild part. Female Komodo dragons can reproduce through parthenogenesis. That's virgin birth. If there are no males around, females can basically just clone themselves. It's like nature looked at the dating scene and said, yeah, understandable. Here's a backup plan. The offspring are always male, by the way, which means a single female stranded on an island could theoretically repopulate it. She's literally a one-woman apocalypse survival team. Someone call Netflix. This is a limited series waiting to happen. Let's address the cannibalism, because it's somehow worse than you think. Baby Komodo dragons hatch, look around at their beautiful new world, and immediately run for the trees. Why? Because adult Komodos, including their own parents, will absolutely eat them given half a chance. It's like if your family reunion was also a battle royale. Thanksgiving dinner, but you might be on the menu. Young Komodos spend their first few years living in trees, eating insects and small lizards, basically hiding from every adult Komodo like they're avoiding their landlord on rent day. They only come down when they're big enough to not be considered a snack. Imagine growing up where the biggest threat to your survival is literally your own species. It's like high school, but with actual stakes. Now, I know what you're thinking, but surely they don't actually attack humans, right? Oh, my friend, sit down. Komodo dragons have attacked and killed people. Not often, we're talking maybe a handful of fatal attacks in the past few decades, but it happens. In 2007, an 8-year-old boy was killed. In 2009, a fisherman bled out after an attack. In 2017, a tourist got bitten. He survived, but barely. The Indonesian government literally has rangers stationed at Komodo National Park whose job is to keep tourists from becoming a statistic. They carry big sticks, not guns, not tranquilizers, sticks. Because apparently the strategy is to just bonk the dragon on the nose like a misbehaving dog. And tourists still show up by the thousands to take selfies with these things, because we as a species have collectively decided that content is worth dying for. Do it for the gram has reached its logical, terrifying conclusion. Here's the sobering part. And yes, we're doing tonal whiplash, buckle up. Komodo dragons are listed as endangered. There are only about 3,000 to 5,000 left in the wild, living on just a few Indonesian islands. Climate change is shrinking their habitat. Human activity is encroaching on their territory. Their prey is declining. We're watching a species that survived for millions of years, outlived the dinosaurs, survived ice ages, adapted to volcanic islands, and now they might not survive us. It's like if Godzilla showed up to fight pollution and global warming, except Godzilla is real, 3 meters long, and losing. Conservation efforts are ongoing. Komodo National Park was established in 1980. There are breeding programs. Scientists are studying them to understand their venom, their reproduction, their ecology. Because here's the thing. These creatures are evolutionary masterpieces. They're living fossils, apex predators, survivors. And maybe, just maybe, A world with Komodo dragons in it is a more interesting world than one without them. Let me leave you with this. If the animal kingdom were a video game, most animals would be regular NPCs. You know, the ones that walk around, say generic dialogue, maybe give you a side quest. The Komodo dragon is that optional boss fight that you stumble into at level 5, the one with the question marks where the level number should be, the one that makes you go, wait, why is the music suddenly different? It has Venom, dot damage abilities, tracking abilities, wall hack, can swim and climb, mobility options, practices cannibalism, hardcore mode on, and can reproduce asexually if needed, respawn mechanic. It's playing on a completely different difficulty setting than the rest of us. So there you have it, the Komodo dragon. A creature so metal, so absolutely unhinged, that it makes every other lizard look like they're not even trying. They've got venom, patience, cannibalistic tendencies, virgin birth capabilities, and a hunting strategy that would make a horror movie villain say, dude, that's a bit much. And honestly, I respect it. In a world full of animals that are just trying to get by, the Komodo dragon decided to be the final boss. That's alpha animal energy right there. Thanks for listening to this episode of Alpha Animals. If you enjoyed this deep dive into nature's most terrifying reptile, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and maybe go hug your pet lizard and thank them for being normal-sized. Next time, we're tackling another creature that proves evolution has a sense of humor. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and for the love of God, don't try to pet a Komodo dragon. Peace out, and remember, respect the lizard.